and welcome to my channel. This weekend I have some special guests at my home. I'm sorry if we guys seem like super tired, but we already had a photo shooting today and it went very nice, but we are very tired. That's the reason why we seem very tired. So this will be like totally real.
Yeah, and we also went out dancing till late last night, so it would be very real. Yeah, because this is a Q&A. We actually haven't said that till now.
Oh yeah, it will be a Q&A, and you want to answer like some of the questions that you asked on my Instagram page. And we cannot answer all of the questions because it were like over 80. But thank you also so much for everyone who asked something, and yeah. Let's just start, because I'm a mess today. I'm sorry if that's too obvious, but this is like totally real. You can even hear like this, like, because my hands are so shaky, it's just like, go to bed.
We had to pick some questions because we couldn't do all 80, so we picked the ones that we thought we either maybe hadn't heard before or haven't answered already, or some that we thought was interesting. So if you asked a question and it's not answered, then maybe it's because we already addressed it.
The first question, I will start with something very easy. First one is, what was your favorite TV show as a child?
That's not easy.
That's not easy?
No.
But you can say many,
so
you don't
many.
have to say like one.
I love the, like in Denmark you have this called Disney show, which is like the small Disney cartoon, and it would change. It was every Friday and it was for half an hour, and they would switch between the super old short Disney cartoons and then like the new ones, and I just always loved watching like Disney show, and I also really loved the old ones. I think there was also a Danish cartoon called Junglebillede Hugo, which is super cute, about a little jungle animal and his adventures, and he's friends with a fox.
Oh, that sounds super cute.
Yeah, we also had like, but I forgot what it's called. I think it was actually German, but like, of course it was dubbed into Dutch. And it was about forest animals, ferrets and bunnies and just actual forest animals, and they kind of went on adventures.
But it wasn't like the show, like the forest animals who left the city, because this was like super brutal and they all died actually.
Oh no.
But maybe that's also
Dying child.
It might have been, I don't know.
Like a typical German tale, okay?
Yeah.
And everyone died.
And I mean, it was the 90s, and I loved Powerpuff Girls. Totally Spies.
Totally Spies. I love Totally Spies.
And Pokemon. And Ed, and Eddie. I fucking love Ed and Eddie.
I don't even know this one.
Really?
Ed and Eddie.
It was a Cartoon Network.
It was a Cartoon Network, yeah.
No, I never heard of it.
It's like very ugly animation, but I thought it was.
They're all super ugly. What was yours? Your favorite?
I love Darkwing Duck. Like, I loved Morgana with like the two bats like on her shoulders.
Oh.
I really love Darkwing Duck. And that was definitely one of my favorites. And Mummy's Alive, which was like super cheesy shit. They were like fighting mummy superheroes, like living in an Egyptian, how to say it?
Tomb or pyramid?
Pyramid. I cannot even remember like.
It's later.
Pyramid. So sad. I'm sorry.
The later it gets, the less English it gets.
Yeah. It will all be like a European mess around. Next question. Does the Powerpuff Girl personality you're most like match the hair colors you currently have? I don't know the Powerpuffs. You have to explain what character they have.
The green one is my favorite, and she's like super badass, but also kind of has like anger issues.
She's super mean.
Oh, but she was my favorite though.
I would say
she had kind of anger issues.
But she was cool.
And the red one was like a know-it-all. So I hope not.
I'm totally like the blue one.
Yeah, like bubbles. But she was like always drawing with the crayons, and she like super high-pitched voice, and she was like, we were
it's like sensitive and creative.
We are all the blue one then.
Yeah, we are all bubbles.
Yeah. Maybe I'm a mixture between the buttercup and the bubbles.
What kind of superpowers would you like to have?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Teleportation, because I could just travel the world, and I could like teleport into the White House, punch Trump in the face, teleport away. You know,
that's perfect.
And do that all over the world.
Yeah, just do it like once every 5 minutes for the rest of his life.
Damn!
It's like,
they're gone.
I think that's a really good idea. I'll do the same with like my pins.
Oh yeah, just punch them all.
Punch all the Nazis in the world. But other than that, I would like to have the superpower of healing. but like of healing everything, also like the earth and plants and everything.
Oh.
So I could like heal.
That's nice.
That would be, I would love that.
That would be really nice. I actually, I even answered that in another video. I really would like to stop time. Because I have no one, I always don't have time, I'm always short on time, I'm always too late to everything, so it's like, I need more time, definitely. Maybe if I would have that, I would look now like I would be like 40 years old.
Yeah.
Because I would use it way too much. just taking 3 days off like every time just to relax.
Like, oh, it's too much, bye. Annika, I feel like you're getting really old lately. It's like, we're starting to figure out that you're like avoiding interaction with anyone, just like aging alone.
Yeah, way better this way. If you could organize a holiday together, where would you go and what would you do? Love the three of you. Thank you very much.
You.
Camping in nature, where you can visit like old castles.
But
And
Annika
like-
hates camping.
It's not like
That's true.
I would. There are many castles around Europe where you can stay, where it's like a hotel. So I would probably like book us in one of those castles, but then in a town or a city where there's like lots of old buildings.
yeah.
And cool, like in Prague, for example, where there are all these like occult alchemy places.
Oh, yeah.
Like that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love that. And which was your first impressions of each other?
They were positive, like very
Yeah.
positive.
Of course it was positive, but it was also just, at first I was just like, oh, they look cool, and now I know you're also cool on the inside.
Aww.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I probably guessed that as well. I was just like, follow, love it, envy.
Exactly.
Love
Yeah,
Want
it.
to meet.
We
Yes.
met on social media.
I wanna
so,
be you.
Yeah.
yeah,
I want to
exactly.
wear you.
I want to
Listen
see
to
you
your
alive and
face.
crawl.
Okay.
Put your head in a
Now you
jar.
know why we're actually
Now that we know
here.
that's like,
Envy.
yeah. Shouldn't have invited these strangers.
No.
But it's like you
That's
see
true.
someone and you see they're like, oh, they're pretty and nice and all this, but you never really know until you meet up. So I feel like we've been very lucky because there are people who are beautiful on the outside, but definitely not on the inside.
Rotten on the inside.
Rotten on the inside.
They can't sit with us.
No,
Yeah.
they can't sit with us. If you're a jerk, you can't sit with us.
Yeah, definitely. I've met you two together, like, for
Oh,
the
yeah.
first time.
Yeah.
So my first impression was like intimidated.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They were like two people at once.
Oh
my God.
I follow you
They're
out.
like,
So we're like,
Your face.
also like we were a package deal, so you couldn't pick to be friends with
Yeah.
just one. You had to be friends
Yeah.
with both of us.
like fuck, I hate this one. I just take her.
I tolerate her because the other one is nice, and then we can spend the rest of our lives wondering which one is the nice
Yeah.
one and which one is the second
Yeah.
one.
Oh.
Shots
No,
fired.
you were both like. I was very relieved that you are both cool people.
Yeah, same with
Yeah.
both of you, because you always, I feel like you always kind of fear that people are super conceited. They're like, oh, I have so many followers on social media, I'm famous, look at me, take a selfie.
How do you guys want to be buried?
Oh, there's this concept now that you can become a tree. And
Yeah,
I
I
just
wanna do
love
that
the concept.
too.
It was just like sacred, huge forest instead of like. I mean, cemeteries look pretty if it's like old, but I mean, it would be cool to have forest that you can't cut down because it's like emotional and like you give your energy back to the earth, kinda, and like
Yeah, you can get
creepy
buried with,
crawlies in your dead body.
and you can get buried with like the seed from a tree, and then you like nourish that and it grows. I think that's
Yeah,
awesome. But
they
I have
actually
to
be
be
a tree.
cremated because I'm terrified of being buried alive. So you can get an urn, a biodegradable urn with a seed inside, and then you get cremated, and the ashes are put in there, and they nourish
Yeah.
the thingy.
But you can actually do that with your naked dead body as well.
True, but
Yeah,
I have to
they
be
will
I
be
have to be
cool.
cremated. But I don't want to be buried in some sort of bogus Christian way. But at least in Denmark right now, you have to do it by the church. Otherwise, it's actually technically illegal.
Actually, I think that all sounds super nice, and for me, maybe that's pretentious, but I kind of don't really care that much because I'm not there. You could just dump me somewhere.
Side of the road.
I'm just like, I mean, I want
You should be dumped in the backyard of someone you really hate.
or someone who hated me, and then I will be with you. Like,
You should be stuffed and put on their mantle. Like,
yeah, I said that too. Like, it would be nice if my great grandchildren like have me stuffed in some corner with like a nice dress like laying there, or just my head in the living room coming
Just
out
like,
of somewhere with the hair. I think it would be best if it's just the head, and then you can like put jewelry on my face, and so that my body has a purpose.
like those 90s doll heads, like hair and shit.
Yeah, just hang like necklaces around, and then you can take them off.
Or you can stand like this, and you can be a coat rack. People can have their coats.
That would be extremely cool, actually.
We should start a company that does this.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, why not?
Free Witches Funeral Service.
Yeah.
Become the coat rack you always dreamed of.
Aww, it's so nice. No, but I want, especially I want my organs to be given to other people.
Oh yeah,
I don't need them anymore. Then.
I already signed that. I carry it around in my wallet. That if someone like runs me over, they can take all my organs. And I specifically crossed that you're not allowed to ask my family for permission, because I'm afraid my mom would be selfish and be like, no, you can't have her eyeballs.
No.
Like, take my eyeballs.
Take the eyes.
Take the eyeballs. And I mean, if you're gonna cremate me anyway, just like take anything, burn the rest.
The rest will be burned. So
yeah.
Get it
But I mean,
before it's hot.
That should be a big slogan of our funeral service. Get it while it's hot.
Sorry, I like the shittiest humor. This is like very European.
Yeah, I feel like
super dark and fucked up.
Yeah, like morbid.
Super just
like, let's do it. Dump my body anywhere. I don't really care.
Who gives a fuck?
I know.
Like this whole ritual around death is super overrated, and it's mostly based on like fear and control. You know, like, oh, you have to do this and that, or you won't be resurrected. I'm like, I don't want to be resurrected. Leave me alone.
I just want to become a tree because so people can't cut it down. You know, I'm like, no, deforestation. It will be. All I care about is like climate change and nature.
You should start a company that does this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. The final question, because I thought it was quite interesting. How does it feel knowing thousands of people, mostly strangers, follow you and your friend group on social media? How does that affect your friendships and image? Where do you think our society and culture is headed in terms of social media, sensations and stars?
Well,
a huge question.
Very big question, but I understand why they ask. But I think that we are all very invested in not letting it affect us, not our friendships, not our personalities. Like, I think the most important thing when you do stuff like this is to not let it take over.
Yeah.
And I think we're all really good at that.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it's mostly like, I think on one hand, social media is really like my job, and on the other hand, it's like having a huge extra group of friends. I mean, it's very positive. So, I mean, like, how would it affect? It wouldn't really affect anything in a bad way, because I think it's awesome.
And then, I feel like we all consider our followers like it's just an extra big group of friends. I follow so many people back. It's like a big pool of inspiration. And I always say this thing because people say, oh, but how does it feel that everyone, so many strangers, they know everything about you? And I just want to say that you guys know almost nothing about us. And that's good, because we're taking care of ourselves, we're protecting ourselves. Like, we're the big cakes. One big cake, and we take a little slice. And that's what we choose to present on social media. And that's what you guys see. And it's 100% real, and it's part of the cake. But we don't put, just like you wouldn't tell 80,000 strangers your deepest, most intimate feelings, neither do we, and I feel like that protects us, and that's healthy.
Yeah, definitely. And I think social media, it can be like a force of something bad, but it could also be a force of something good. Like every media outlet can be, I mean, you can, if it has a bad effect if you let it get to you. But like the hate comments and such like that get to you, but like I think for all of us it's like, it's really not important at all. So.
Yeah, I mean, like, of course there are hate, like you have to be a very tough cookie to be able to do this kind of like work and have like social media, because there are like a bunch of cunts on the internet as well.
Yeah, and creeps.
But I don't know, I always like, whenever I get like super shitty, it's mostly just, you know, just kind of trolls, and I don't take it seriously.
I feel like social media gets a bad rep, and it's like, that's like saying newspapers are evil.
Yeah,
like the medium, the form of communication is neutral.
Yeah.
It's how you use it. And humans have always been comparing themselves to others and be like, oh, but the farm on the other side of the road is bigger than mine, and they have 5 horses, and I only have 1. You know, I feel like it's become really trendy.
Mara doesn't even have 1 horse.
I know, right?
Out of horses.
But I feel like it's very trendy to say how social media is ruining us, when actually we would never have met if it wasn't for social
that
media.
was what I was thinking yesterday, because we were partying yesterday with like a lot of my friends, and I met you two through social media. Like everyone who was there, I've met through social media. Actually.
Yeah, me too.
And it was like such a nice group of friends. So
they're all amazing.
Yeah, I think you can use it for just good things.
This is a very complex question, but I feel like it's good that we express our view, because I feel like there's so many negative comments and you never hear, and also they're rarely from people who actually work with it.
Yeah, people like to shit on social media, but it was like that with every new media, so it won't go anywhere, I think. So you all have to just live with it, or just not consume it. If you're consenting to consume it, then you should also work on dealing with the feelings you have according to it. So
definitely, like when you shouldn't read a horror novel right before bed if you can't deal with the nightmares.
Kind of your fault.
And then you blame books and people media. No, humans.
Okay, but I think that was like a great last question, because it was like such a it was
like the meaning of life.
Yeah, and we told you the meaning of life now.
This
so
is
now
the
you know.
Yeah,
go out.
Stay in school, don't do drugs.
Yeah, exactly.
Stay in drugs, don't do school.
Yeah, thank you. Also, I must agree with both. Both statements.
You're the true neutral party.
I'm just like right in the middle. Yes. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys still liked it, even though we are like crazy tired people. And thank you, goodbye, have a lovely day. Einen schönen Abend noch, habt noch ganz viel Spaß und danke fürs Zuschauen. And we will say that in our languages now. That was German.
Bedankt voor het kijken. Dit was super leuk. En iets met muisjes. Ik snap niks.
Oh.
Tak fordi I kiggede med, det var rigtig hyggeligt, og tusind tak for alle spørgsmålene. Vi sætter stor pris på det, og I er alle sammen smukke og dejlige.
Goodbye.
Bye.
See you.